Hello YouTube, welcome to the part 2 of the video. So in this part 2, I am going to be taking you through the whole retouching stage. Once again, I'm going to plead with you to subscribe. This particular video, I really want you to understand that you have to subscribe. And don't just subscribe for you to know when I drop a new video, because after this, I'm going to be dropping a video on how to clean eyes and teeth. Every single thing. So if you are interested in any of those videos, you want to turn on your notification bell so that when I do that, you will be the first to be notified that I've dropped a new video. Damn. English is crazy. Damn. So you're going to be the first to be notified that I dropped a new video, and it's going to be something that you love. So in this particular video, I am going to be focusing on how to balance, because in my previous video, which is the processing stage, I never did my color balancing, like my skin tone balancing in Capture One. Even if I do that, it might not give me exactly what I want. So I brought the image to Photoshop, and I am going to be fixing up the skin tone. Then I am going to retouch the picture. I'm going to try to shape the face and every other thing that will make the picture look more better than the way it is. And I'm going to be doing a little bit of color grade from Camera Raw and Photoshop. So this video is equipped with a lot of things that are going to help you improve your retouching. So once again, I'm going to repeat it over and over. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, because that will help me and you grow faster. Let's go to my system. Let me show you how it's done.
Hello, this is the part 2 of the previous video I did, and in this particular part of the video, I am going to be working on the image to make it look the way I want. So as you can see, this is just an image brought in here from Capture One. So I am going to select some areas and work on those areas separately, because I feel like the hand is a little bit looking different from the makeup, which I can fix with color matching. But let me just try and select this area separately. Let me select this area separately. So I'm going to just select around the nails and the hand. Okay. So when I do that, what I want to do is try as much as possible to brighten it a little and also add a little yellow. So I am going to, there are different ways that you can do that. There is an easy method, which is you just come in here, go to your reds and try increasing this. But this is what you get when you increase this. So I am going to go back, then use my curve instead. I'm going to increase the curve from here, just like this. Then I'll go to my blues and reduce my blues. When I do that, this is what I get. So here is our before and here is our after. Then I'm going to feather it a little. So we now have a matching image. Without doing skin matching, we are now good to go. So the next thing I want to do from here is just merge everything together. Then if you feel like you want to change the color of the background, then it's fine. This is how we do it. I am going to select subject. Now, when you do that, it's going to help you select the subject. Then you check around if the selection is perfect. If it's not perfect, you use the second tool, which is this subject selection tool. So I'm going to see if I can add a little of this area. Let's see if it's going to add anything to our image. It did, so that is a plus. So as we can see around here, the selection is a little bit rough. So you just have to go around your image like that over and over to make sure you're fixing it right. Yeah. So now what this particular tool does is it works the way content aware works. It uses AI to detect the areas that looks like the subject, then it's going to pick those areas up. So as you can see, we have to remove this area. Now, if you're not that kind of person that want to look around, you just want to select and remove, you would understand that at this point you have done a lot of damage to your picture. Sorry, I want to add that here. So I think now the selection is fine for me. What a lot of persons will do at this point is to feather it. I've not been feathering, but let me just use 2. Then I'll jump it into a new layout. When I jump it into a new layout, I want this image to have a mature feel. So for a mature feel, I might want to apply something to the background, but still make it look natural, like it's a background where she stood and took the picture. So I'm going to use this background. I've been using this background a lot, but a lot of persons don't know I use it because I normally desaturate it a lot. So keep it like this, then bring it on a soft light mode. Now, this is what you get with just applying this to your background. Then you can also just bring the opacity down a little. Now the image is looking mature for anybody that wants to use it for any kind of project. While doing this, you can also just bring in a little bit of levels or curve. They will do same thing for you. Just bring in a little, you just add in a little contrast to the background. Now as you look at the image, you can see that the separation between the subject and the background is looking very neat. So you can now merge everything together. Now when you merge everything together, before you start retouching, you can look around the image to see that everything is fine on the image. Now we have some rough edges like this area that if we do our before and after, that part is like that even in the before. So if you don't look at the before, you feel like this was from when you were adding the background. So let's try and start retouching this image because the face is already neat. So I'll use 4 because I don't want much textures. I just want the face to be neat. So I am going to use, these are my everyday settings for my brush. And I don't know how this got to 28. So I'm going to bring it down to 0. Then I am going to start painting. It's easy. Just start painting. And take note, no matter how you paint, try and make sure you don't destroy the original look of the image. What you're trying to do is make the image come out neat, but at the same time, you are being conscious of where the light and the shadow is. So we have, sorry, I don't want that dot to be hidden, so I'm going to open it back up, then paint some other areas. So let's forget about the fact that I'm doing a tutorial and you already see what I've done. You can just pause the video, then go back and start retouching. Take your time and retouch it. Then when you're done, you continue, because what I'm doing, I'm trying to beat time. So it's not bad that you could be a retoucher that can retouch a lot of pictures within few minutes, but it's nice if you take your time and do a particular job. For me, if I spend so much time on a particular job, I feel like I've overdone the work. And to some point, I like my images not looking fake. So I just want to do it very fast and neat. That's why the background I applied, I faded it out because I don't want the background to be looking as if it's competing with the subject. And those are some of the reasons why I like shooting away from the background. I like pushing my subject away from the background because if the background is too bright, it affects the final outcome of the pictures. So I am still brushing. As you can see, I am still brushing over. Yeah. So after doing this, I might rotate my image. I've done this in a particular video and somebody was asking me, why do you rotate your image? Okay. I rotate just to paint down again the same way I painted when I was painting upside down. And when I do that, I just try to correct little areas, not to paint everywhere over again. It's not a must that you do it, but I'm doing it because I like doing it. And even that, I don't do it in all of my images. So that is all for rotation. Then when we turn on our texture layout, we find out that we have done a lot to this image, but we have not killed the image. So we just go to our texture layout, hold down S to bring in our clone stamp. Mine is not coming up. Okay, it's coming up. So I'll just increase it a little, then paint around here. I don't want this part to be looking like she has mustache that she's hiding. Okay. So, okay, so let me just add a little here and do this. Okay, so this is the after of that retouching. So let's see the before. This is the before, this is the after, this is the before, this is the after. So when you look at the image, you realize that all I did was to make sure the color is balanced. So the next thing I will do at this point is to just come to the subject, select color range around the skin. Now, this is one beautiful way of selecting your skin without, minus, add. This is one beautiful way of selecting your subject, the skin tone alone. It might not be perfect, but you say okay to that. That is a good starting point. So we are going to pick a part of this subject and use it as the color for the overall picture. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to pick here. So I'm going to create a mask on an empty layout. Then I am going to try clean up the mask because I want to put in the color in there. So I start painting in all these areas. Now for my mask, I like covering the mouth and the eyes in case the lipstick is not the type that needs to be covered. So for this, I plead with you that you take your time to do it. So at the end, you will not start finding issues with your work. So I'm going to close up the eye area. Close up this area too. Then I'm going to close the eyebrow. Then the lipstick, I'm going to move it to the edge. Make sure I'm covering everything that looks like lipstick. Then I'm going to come back here and clean the excess here. Then say okay. Then at this point, I'm going to bring in color I selected. Then I'm going to use color. Bring it down to 20, no 30. Bring it to 30. You can decide to increase it, your choice. But this has worked for me. Or you can use the soft light and either increase it or reduce it. I'll keep my soft light at 12. Then this is the before, this is the after. What this has done is just to match the skin color better than the way it was. So you can still see that the image is still looking not too edited compared to the way it was. So at this point, I'm going to go to camera raw and try and make sure I'm trying to pop the skin tones in this picture. So I come over here and I increase this. The more you increase this, the more you see the effect of it. So you can just keep it around here. You can either move this to see if you want it to be on the red side. So I leave it at -2. Then this you can either brighten the skin or so. I'm going to also leave this at -2. -2 or 3 is fine. Then I'm going to keep it like this. So let's see our before and our after. This is the before, this is the after. As much as I want the image to look very okay, I am trying to make sure I don't do too much. So I can either come to my color mixer and put in the red just a little. Cannot reduce the orange, so I'll leave the orange around 3. Luminosity, I can decide to brighten the yellows, brighten this, but let me leave them both as the lowest. Then I want to save this so that I can use it for my other pictures. These are some of my presets though. I want to save it so I can use it for some other pictures. I will just have to come here and save it with P700. Create a folder, just put it inside any of my preset folder and I'll say okay. So I have that as a preset. So this particular set of presets you're seeing here, I know a lot of you like it, and you can just go to the page and purchase it. The link is on my bio, so you can go and purchase it. So I'll say okay, and I say okay, this is the before, this is the after. So now I can now use my selective color and know if I want to make it pop the more, and if I want more orange on the skin, then take this up, then try to fix it gradually, bring this down, go to my yellows, take the yellows up, and so you have to gradually do this to come out just the way you like it. Then I'll go to my white, increase my white, because I want the white to pop. So this is the work of the white. Then I'm going to bring in a little bit of black, just about 2-3% is fine. Then I'm going to check the overall before and after. This is the before, this is the after. So at this point, I am going to do a separate video talking about how to clean eyes and the rest. At this point, I want to add a little bit of vibrance. I'll just add maybe a tweak of vibrance. Keep it around here. Then I want to do a little of the vibrance for the lip. So I'm going to increase the one for the lip. Then I'm going to invert it, just apply it to just the lip. Check, make sure you're painting with a white brush. Paint the lip. Yes, so that's for the lip. Then I'm going to clean my eye, which is an action that I've set. So I'm going to clean the eyes. So just doing that is enough for me, but I'm going to reduce it. Let me keep it at 5960. So I am still going to apply my S-curve because I like what S-curve will do for my images. So these are the images looking right now. Let me keep this at 60. Before and after, it just brought out the image a little, make the image pop better a little. So this is how I've worked the image from here to here. Remember, we had to fix the hands, and right now the skin work is very okay for me. Well, I can decide to say, okay, I want to liquefy the image a little because of the wideness of her face. Then I'll just go to, sorry, I'm going to camera raw instead of liquefy. I'm going to cancel that, then go to liquefy. So in my liquefy, I'm just going to pick the option of the shape of the face. Then I'm going to push this in a little. Then I'll leave the lip, I'll leave everything the way it is. So I can come here and just push in this area a little. And just small. Then say okay. So this is the before, this is the after. You tell me which one you prefer, but this is the one I prefer. So I am going to end this class here. If you know you have a question, make sure you ask me. Drop a comment in the comment section and make sure you're subscribed and turn on your notification, because if you turn on your notification, you're going to know when I'm dropping my next video, and that would enable you want to see my new video before any other person. So once again, thank you for watching and see you in another video.